गणपतिगं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमं ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पत नः शृण्वन्नोतिभिस्सेदसादनम् ॐ श्रीमहागणपतये नमः। सरस्वत्यै नमो नित्यं भद्रकाल्यै नमो नमः। वेदवेदान्तवेदाङ्ग विद्यास्थानेभ्यैव च सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनो भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। Hari Om. Let us chant the first one. Namah Shri Shankarananda Guru Padambujamani Savilasa Mahamoha Graha Grasaika Garmane. We will read 77th verse. Evamakashamithyatve satsatyatve cha vasite Nyayena nena vayuvyade Vayavade Satvastu Pravivicchetam Sadvastu Ninekadeshastha Maya Tatraikadeshagam Viyatatrapyekadeshagataha Vayuh prakalpitaha Shosha-sparsho gatirvega Vayu-dharma ime mataha Trayasvabhava sanmaya Vyomnam yete pivayugaha Vayurastiti sadbhavaha Sato vayau prathakrite Nistatvarupata maya Swabhavo vyomagodhani Swabhavo vyomagodhani Dhvani. So we had seen that till 76th verse was the Akash Brahma Vivek. And in this Akash Brahma Vivek, at the end of this, Vidyaranya Swamiji had given an emphasis on meditation and shravanam. Why? Because there are possibility that either I have not understood. Not understood means still I don't understand how some things are false. This is called not understanding. I don't understand how do you say space is false. How do you say this is false? So never use these words unless a person is prepared. If a layman comes and says world is false, then don't say world is false. Because you are not understanding how it is false, and problem is they think body is real and world is false. So never use such words to the common layman. You see, the world is form of God and you worship the world as the form of God. It takes a lot of mature steps to come to this conclusion. Lot of thinking, deliberation, contemplation repeatedly, then you understand why the world has been said as false here. So, but still I have not understood, again listen. There is no other way out. If the problem is of not understanding, there is no, if some in front of me something is there and I can't see, I think again you try to get your eyes tested and see. There is no other way out. If I say this is a paper and I can't say this is a paper, then only way is again find out. Get your eyes checked, again get the paper. Otherwise you will say, why this is not a paper. Because something is there, I should see it. Well, no, I see, but sometimes I don't see. Then again there is some defect in your eyes, you go for eye check or you go for some kind of eye purification. So similarly, there are two possibilities. Either I don't understand, and either I understand very well. I have understood. I can write notes also. I can give talk also. I can write books also. How Akash is false. I can write books. A person left sleepless nights writing the book How to Sleep. So it is possibility that you have understood very well. But still when it comes to Vyavhar, I am the same old fox as was 20 years back. So I am not changed in my attitude or reactions. That means you have not done sufficient contemplation and meditation. And I am repeating it, sufficient definition for everybody is different. It's a very personal definition. For some sufficient may be 1 hour, for some it is half an hour, for some it is 5 hours, for some it may be 10 hours. Depending how much you have to clear the past. What kind of nature is entrenched. And you can change your nature. Howsoever difficult nature it may be, you can change it. You know, every seed has its own property. But by certain trimming and giving, you can always, if not totally change, you can slightly alter the nature. One person was there, he planted a mango seed. And for 10 years continuously, he never put water. He used to give milk. Instead of water, he used to nourish that tree by milk. Continuous for 10-15 years. When the mango came, it was a milky mango. So that mango had a clear-cut taste of and fragrance of a milk in it. So I am saying even though our nature may be certain thing, but by consistent effort you can alter your nature to a certain level. It's not that I am born like that. If you put less effort and nature is very deeply entrenched, effect will be less. So a lot of austerity is required. For different other person, he is fine with. He doesn't have that nature, so he is very free in that area. He doesn't struggle in the area where you are struggling. Because he already is clear, he has no track like that. So certain contemplation is required. And I'm repeating it, every seeker is personal and therefore never compare, because you don't know what past he has lived and what past you have lived was totally different. What parenting you had, what he had is different. What childhood you had and what he had is different. What education you had and he had is different. What mother, father you had and he had is different. What friends you had and he had is different. Everything is quite different. Only thing, we cross road at a certain time, for a short time, when we start thinking, because we don't know. And therefore, teachers have lot of compassion, because they know that he has come from different area, and therefore he will have to go through it. So Vasanayam Pravridnayam, you heard this. So you have the meditation is pointed at changing your Vasana. This is the challenge there. The listening is pointed at attacking your ignorance. And contemplation or reflection is pointed at removing the doubt after listening. So both are not that easy, Shravanam and Maranam. But toughest part will be, if a person has Vasana, toughest is that he will not be able to realize what the joy of and the accessibility of knowledge to give us fulfillment will be. I'll be deprived of that. Because I am that layer, that thick layer that I have, will not allow that knowledge to penetrate. And therefore, when you sit consistently and continuously and sincerely with sincerity, then only you try to mix that thought and try to change your vasanized world. And vasana is, I told yesterday, that notional, I can change my notion. Notional change is easy. Attitudinal change is difficult. My notion has become different after hearing this. But my attitude is governed by mind and my vasana sanskar, and that is where I think maximum seekers fall prey to it. They are very good in their knowledge, but same in their attitude, even after 20, 30 years. And don't blame anyone. Reason is they have not put effort in the right direction. They are putting more effort in listening or talking, and they are not putting any effort in internalizing. And therefore the jap sadhana, the part sadhana, tries to take you inside. Jap and part sadhana is trying to act on your vasanas. It goes to the subconscious mind. Because after doing jap, you start doing jap verbally, mentally, and etc. So somewhere it goes into your subtle body and in your causal body also. I have already explained a lot yesterday, and when time comes again I'll take. But this thing I had taken in 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, where I had mentioned abhyasen tu kaunte vairagyen cha grihate. You can refer to that. Sufficient has been taken. Okay, so never give up, never feel bad, never, if you are feeling bad, go and walk, have a cup of tea, coffee. If you don't take coffee, have milk. If you don't take, then glass of water, warm water take a glass of hot water and relax. Don't get too much of stressed, and I'm repeating it, never compare yourself, because that won't give you any kind of solution. If you see some goodness, always appreciate with open heart and with full throat appreciation and say, I'm inspired by you. This is what I have learned from the saints, etc. So, Gurudev was there, and one person did in Gujarat, he did excellent work somewhere. And Gurudev was very good in praising actually. I have never seen anybody praising like him. So, Gurudev wrote a letter to him, I preach Gita, you live it. Although it's not that he did not live Gita. But when you praise, you have to put yourself down. I preach Gita and you live that. Sita. So that attitude should be there in your heart. So keep an keen eyes to find out what is that goodness in him which I don't have. Don't try to see how bad he is and I'm good. Generally we are expert in that. Picking up fault like a crow. I say like crow picks up dirt, we also pick up everybody's fault and put in our mind. Forget about that. But what happens when you see somebody's goodness, in a child's goodness also, so you get inspired. If he can do it, I also can try that. When you remember that child, you'll always feel that if he can continue that, I also can try at least. It's a reminder that human mind has a lot of capacities. Many things, what has come in my life as abhyas, maximum thing I had seen from somewhere. Whether it was a child, whether it was a saint, whether my puja habits are there, whether my writing habits are there, whether my any good habit, if you see, if at all, it has been conferred by somebody. Keen observer, you have to be there. And my writing habits has come from my grandfather. He used to write very nicely. Very nice handwriting he had. Similarly, many habits was there. Anyway, so I will move ahead. Now ball is in your court. Don't get desperate. It's a tough area. Acha, you have to be tougher than that. So don't, at times you will feel desperate, you will feel lost, you will feel laid back, you will feel inferior. Always accept, I am the das of everybody, everybody is better. I am very happy to have come here to learn from everybody. I have come here to imbibe some goodness. Everybody is better than me, no doubt. And happily say, everybody is better than me. I am the servant of all. Keep that attitude towards everybody. मैं सेवक सचराचर रूप स्वामी भगवंत. Okay. Learn to accept gladly. Don't accept somebody's goodness with a pinch of salt. Or you are undermining somebody because you are putting it in a negative, well, some drama he is doing drama. Don't think. Well, he speaks very diplomatic. Don't use such words so easily. Because I don't have doesn't mean everybody is like that. So generally we put some hush work and try to undermine. So what happens? We don't serve mentally anybody. That bhav goes away with people, and then you are neglecting God actually. Aham is sarva yajnanam bhokta cha paru prabhurevcha. Let's now go ahead. So lot of changes in the nature is required. I went to some saint, I must be 21 and he must be 40. So where camp was there. I was not brahmachari, but I had to conduct a camp. So one saint was there, he was Maun, he was doing Gayatri Anushtan. 24 lakh Gayatri, a crore, something like that. So he was not talking. So I thought, let me have his darshan. So he was on the first floor. So I thought maybe room is open. So I'll at least see and come out. But he saw me that I am coming. So he opened the door and came down and touched my feet. I was not even a brahmachari. Forget about it. And he was already a brahmachari. He was in his clothes. I said, what are you doing? He said, no, please bless me that my Anushthan gets over. I have heard a lot about you, so please bless me that my Anushthan that I am doing gets over in a right manner. ऐसा बोला. हमने उनसे सीखा. I learned that you can touch the feet of a younger person also. One of my friends was there. So, his name I am not telling. So, I went to his house. So, we were going over outside the city. So, before I had my bag, he also packed his bag. So, he was around 20, maybe 19. And his sister was around 12. So, before going, he touched the feet of his sister. So I thought, I said, how did you touch yours? So she is maybe 9 years younger than you. She said, no, in our house there's a tradition that when we go out, we touch the feet of sister also because she is Devi. So we touch the feet of mother and sister both. And in Marwadis especially, the girls are not supposed to touch the feet also. They don't touch the feet. In their family, my feet, they will. But aisa hai na, so they don't touch the feet. So many things you have to pick up, you have to learn and collect in yourself some goodness at least. Even if I can't live it, you can collect it. You can have a good memory of those points. You can have a good memory. This will set your standards high. This will set your moral standards high. Like yesterday, Hanumanji, Sitaji did not sit on the back of Hanumanji. That was just to set moral standards high. I'm just giving an example. Okay, so this is there. Chalo, lot of thoughts start coming. So now from 77th onwards, now you can understand what topic will be. Vayu, Brahma Vivek, Agni, Brahma Vivek, Jal, Brahma Vivek, Prithvi, Jal Vivek, and Brahmand Ityadi, Brahma Vivek. Well, it's very easy, please skip it. No. He is going to make us contemplate through the process. It's more not understanding, but more it is now more reflecting more is there. It's more in a reflecting mode. It's trying to entrench in our mind. And one of the two slokas are little subtle. So 77th verse. Evam akash mithyatve sat satyatve cha vasite. So after you have, vasite means well entrenched in the mind. वासना अच्छे से बन गई है. उसकी वासना अच्छे से बन गई है. It has been well entrenched in your mind. Evam akash mithyatve sat. Akash is mithyatve and sat is the satya. You have already well thought of and you are well convinced. Not only convinced, but you have internalized also. Vasite means internalized. Understanding with the standing under. So generally we understand, but we don't stand under. Anena nyayena, by this logic, vayavadehe, vayu hai, vayu, u becomes va, iko yanachi shrok, mantra, sutra is there. Vayavadehe sat vastu pravivicchetam. One should differentiate the existence from the vayu. Acha, हाँ. How can I do how can I do this? Can you please tell that? Well, why not? I'll definitely tell you. So we have already read the 78 to 80th verse, so I'll not read it. Sad vastuni ek deshastha maya. It is said on the Sat, one part of Sat is Maya. Remember, don't forget my point. Part does not mean literal part. It means it is imagined on that. Like I give the example, one part of space, this hall is there. Part is that imagination is there. On that, if something is imagined. On limitless cannot have a part, because anything finite alone can have a part. Anything finite alone can have a part. Limitless cannot have a part. So I was in one place, I'm not telling the name. So one person from Vishishtadvaita came. And he said, you say that Brahman alone is there, Shankaracharya says, but Bhagavan himself has said, Mamai Vamsho Jivaloke, the whole world is my ansh. So they choose what they like. I said, what about Maya Tatam Idam Sarvam? Matta Partaram Nanyat Kinchadasti Dhananjaya. When Bhagavan has said part, it means as if it is a part. Understand this point? As if you have to add that. As if it is a part. As if in one part of the dream seer, the dream world was superimposed. If something has a limitation, you can put a part. Because if something is a part, we will to say that multiplied by what will become whole. Supposing you say this paper was torn into 4 parts. So one part into 4 times is equal to whole paper then. So if the Sat has a part, then you can say some multiply by what you can make the whole Sat then. So anything which is limitless cannot have a part because the space is not there. But this is a way of communication that on that only superimposition is there. So in that Sat, in one part of the Sat, Maya is there. That means Maya is superimposed. Sat vastuni ek deshastha Maya, comma. After that, comma. So on that Sat, on one part of the Sat is Maya. Okay. I'm repeating it. Really, if the part will be there, then it will be seen whole time. In the deep sleep also you'll see that. In the Samadhi also you'll see that, because that part is now permanently there. Okay. After comma. Tat traik deshagam viyat. Viyat means space. This is 78th verse. On one part of Maya is the space. Acha? Why? Because cause is always more pervasive than the effect. My power of speaking is more pervasive than the speech. What I am speaking is very small thing than what I know, what power is there to speak. There is much more than power than I am speaking. Okay, understand that. So, after Viyat, full stop. Tat traika deshagam Viyat. The second line will be the follow the first line, follow on of the first line. So on one part of the Maya is the space. And on one part of the space, tatra api ek deshagata vayuhu. On one part of the space is Vayu. Now this is easy to understand that Vayu is only in one part because the space is more pervasive. So you can have concentric circles, just for your information. So one circle, biggest circle is as if the Brahman or Sat. Under that, one other concentric circle is there of Maya. Smaller circle is there of space. Again, smaller circle is of air. Again is of fire, etc. Please note, don't make it literally. It is just for understanding. Don't make it very literally. Important word is prakalpita. It is false creation. It is false creation. Acha? Why it is false creation? I already told that why it is false creation. Now what is said here? Why it is false creation? I am telling you, wait. Shosha sparsha gatir vega vayu dharma ime mataha. So 79th verse you see. So Vayu has certain property. 4 property are mentioned. Shosh, dehydrating. Supposing you put the clothes and you put on the fan. Sometime this is what they do in the camp, etc. There is no place to dry the clothes outside in the sun, or strings are not there. They put in the room and put on the fan. So fan is there, when they go out, and the fan is drying the clothes. So these will dehydrate. it will dehydrate. So shosh means absorb, the dehydration. Second property is sparsh, soft and hard touch. Third property is gati. Gati means movement. And fourth property is veg. Veg means power bound of the movement. This is the fourth property of the Vayu. Vayu dharma ime mataha. Okay, understand it. So there are four properties of the Vayu. Shosh, sparsh, gatirvegaha, Vayu dharma ime mataha. Acha. But when you say this is air, there are three more things. What are three more things, sir? Rather, please tell me. Can you guess now? Three more things. You say Vayu asti. Huh? So there is Sat. There is existence. Second is Maya. Where is Maya? Where is Maya? One who has made the Vayu and one who has created the delusion that Vayu exists rather than existence is Vayu. Existence has Vayu. It is not saying that the Maya worked on the mind and made it as if Vayu has existence. This is the Mayic portion. And third thing more is there. When the Vayu moves, Zzz. So there is a sound there in the Vayu. Sigh. So this is there. Sometimes you can hear it. In the jungles, when I went for solitude last year, so around that, a lot of trees were there. What was that trees called? क्या बोलते उसको? देवधार का tree था. देवधार. There's a tree called देवधार. And if there is not a single person around. आवाज कहाँ से आ रही है? So I can see that only the sound was of the air. Air is making sound. So when air will blow, air will have some sound. But that sound is because of the space and it is not the property of the air. So 3 is borrowed and 4 are its own. So 3 plus 4, 7 properties are of the air. Oh my God, so much they think. Yes, so much they think. Trayasya bhava. Sun, please understand, I hope you understand Maya. Where is Maya coming? Created the Vayu externally and deluded me internally. बाहर से create किया, विक्षेप शक्ति. But the confusion of substance and attribute, it made me confused inside. Not outside confusion. Avana Shakti was not outside. Outside was Vikshep Shakti. But I got confused inside. So Maya is working here also and outside also. Okay. I understand that. ठीक है? With Vidyaranyana Swami, if you read Panchadashi, you will know how to analyze, how to open at the subject. His analytical power I have not seen anywhere else. Brilliant. So what Upanishad will say in one line, he will explain in 100 verses. So that you know how to explain a certain thing. Therefore, don't rush and don't run. If you know Sanskrit, excellent, because you can break where is it. I very rarely I read the translation because many things you have to struggle with that. If I'm not getting, then I see. Sometimes it is more confusing, translation. So, Vayur astiti sadbhava. 80th verse, please see. Vayu asti sadbhava. Existence is that Vayu is there. Air is there. This is called sadbhava. Vayu astiti sadbhava. Please note, all that arguments will go ahead. What argument? That existence cannot be the nature of Vayu. Existence cannot be attribute of. So you have to separate Vayu and existence. Number one step, because existence in the deep sleep was without name and form. Therefore, existence cannot be coming later on. Property will come after the substance. But because already this was existing, therefore, existence cannot be something which is associated with any object. Number one. Number two, substance and attribute will be swapped now. This is earlier the substance was Vayu and attribute was existence. Now existence is the substance and Vayu is the imaginary attribute of the substance. And third is that the Vayu is false, Vayu will not be true. Why? Because we saw that, as in the case of space, how the falseness was defined. It was not real. Okay? You had seen in the earlier verses that it cannot, if the Vayu cannot be Sat, then it cannot be Asat because it is seen, and what is different than Sat and Asat will be Mithya. I remember that. And therefore, when you do this analysis in your mind, this is called your sadhana. So you have separated. It's intellectual separation. You can't have physical separation. You can't separate existence physically. It's intellectual separation. It's an intellectual separation. Acha? Somewhere I was there. So, one woman was there. She used to come with one man. I'm not telling now. So, kya bole hum? So both were walking, talking, and every day coming together. So somebody was with me. Bole ki I invite you with your wife for dinner. No, with your husband for dinner. Bole, she is not my husband. So always be careful when you talk these things. Don't jump to conclusion because somebody is with somebody is the husband, wife. There can be many equations. So Vayurasti iti sadbhava. So you have to do intellectual separation. Don't separate physically. Intellectually you can separate. It happened at one other place. So one very thick, fat lady came. And not very fat, but fat. And I thought, and with him, one person also came. I thought he is the son. So I was about to say which class he is. But good I didn't say. I said, who is he? Then she only told he is my husband. And he is appearing his son. Sometimes some kind of confusion is there that he is son or husband. Wife or daughter. Sometimes such differences are there. So, you need not conclude anything. Better to ask, who is she or who is he? Or keep quiet, in due time it will be revealed. Don't jump to conclusion and try to disturb anybody. कई बार ऐसा होता है, हाँ. So you had, and next time when you see, you have to do intellectual separation. हाँ, ऐसा होता है. Because of the fatness, a person appears very aged, and because somebody is very thin, appears as if the age is very less. The hair goes away, or the glasses are there, or with the size, the age appears differently. It happens many times. So, here you have to do physical, not physical separation, intellectual separation. Vayurastiti sadbhavaha sato vayo prathakrite. Then what is said here? Nistatva rupata maya swabhava. So, Vayu is nistatva, essenceless, because Maya is there. And Vyomago dhanihi. Please note, the dhani means the sound in the air is of the Vyom. Vyom means Akash. Is of the Akash. So, later on, the latter elements will take the property of the earlier ones. The latter ones, not later, latter. Later is in time, latter is in object. So the latter ones will take the property of the earlier ones. Now objection is coming. Purupaksh came. He said, what did you say? Well, I said, Purupaksh is subtle, please understand. He said, you said that the space's property pervades all. But if you remember, in 67th verse, you said something else. You said only Sat pervades and not the space. You can see the 67th verse, if you have the book, which you have. It is said here, second line, page 61, Bhinne viyat sati shabda bhedat buddhescha bhedata. You are saying Akash and Brahman are different. Fine. Second line, Vayu adishu anuvrittam sat. The existence pervade Vayu, etc. Na tu vyom, but the space doesn't pervade. Now you are saying that the space's quality called the sound pervades all. Are you finding it? How is it that? Well, the point is that you are very good in getting confused. Well, I am asking any question, you are saying you are confused. My question is, you said that the space does not pervade all. And here you are saying that the quality of the space called the dhvani pervades all. How do you reconcile both the statements? He himself is raising the question, Maybe this question must be there at that time. This question won't come to you. If you think, then you will have question. If you don't think, no question will be there. So, I hope you will listen to what I say. There are two things. One is called Swarup, other is called Guna. So, space's Swarup or the nature is accommodation. And space's Guna is dhvani, property. So I'm telling you, wait. So, space gives accommodation to all four elements. Very good. It gives accommodation. But the accommodation principle of space is not pervaded in all four elements. Well, once more. I am saying space has two things, accommodation or avakash, and second is the shabd. Space's property of accommodation only gives it this place. All four elements do not have the property of accommodation. But where is space is pervading me? You don't have a property of accommodation. Accommodation means giving you space everywhere. Only this much space. That is not the property. Your property is not there. But the dhvani property of the space is pervaded in the Vayu, in the Agni, Jal and Prithvi. Please note, got my point? Both are different things. How is it there? I'll try to explain. One is called Sarvvyapi. Like the water is there, wave is there. There is ocean, there is a water in the ocean, and the wave is there. Now you please tell me, in the wave, the property of accommodation, the wave has been given accommodation by the space. Wave has been given accommodation by the space. But the property of the space is not in the wave called accommodation. Otherwise, a wave will also give accommodation. Only but it gives limited accommodation. That is not the accommodation means whole accommodation. That wave will not give. So wherever wave is there water has to be there. Wave is there, water has to be there. But wave is not equal. If the space was wave, then wherever space is there also water will be there. So there is a difference between the water being the substance of the space. Space is not the substance of the wave. Although water is the substance of the wave. Something giving accommodation doesn't mean it is the nature of that thing. Will you again explain, please? Please explain. Again I will say, there is something called accommodation and there is something called nature of a thing. Accommodation is not equal to nature of a thing. The space gives accommodation to the wave. But the nature of the wave is water, that is not the nature of the space. If the nature of the space was water, everywhere water will be there. So accommodation nature is pervading the wave. But the nature of that water, nature of the wave is given by the water, but not by the space. Okay. So space's nature of dhvani or the sound pervade, it is the nature of the vayu also. But accommodation nature is not in the space, not in the vayu. It has sound. It has sound, but space will not, vayu will not give accommodation. Fire will not give accommodation. Accommodation means complete space everywhere. That is called the nature. Don't limit it. Limited accommodation it is giving. No. It is to give accommodation means complete avkash. So space's nature of accommodation will not be in the vayu or in the fire or in the jal, water or in the earth. Don't give limited accommodation. That's not. But the nature of the space, but the guna of the space called sound is transferred in all the four elements. So from that angle I had told you that in 67th verse, that the accommodation, it is not pervading all. It is not in all. Space is not in all. But the Sat existence is in all. And this is said, 82nd verse, Chidranuvrittir netiti purvokti adhunatvam. I already told that space as the attribute was not there in the Vayu. Shabdanuvritti ev ukta. When I am saying that space pervades, here it is from the point of view of word, shabd, and not the accommodation power. Acha, vachso vyahrati kutah. Where is the contradiction there? In my words, there is no contradiction. I hope you have understood this point. If you have not understood, please discuss with others. Okay. I have understood that. Similarly, air has a property of touch. So touch property of the air will be in the fire. You can touch the fire and feel it. That fire is, you can touch the fire. And the sound property of the space is in the fire also. Chat dhvani will be there in the agni or the fire, because it has been taken by that. But accommodation is not there. Fire will not accommodate. This much fire will not give you accommodation everywhere that you can put your room in the fire. Put your room in fire. You cannot be like that. Although there is a fire extinguisher at the back, because talks are fiery sometimes. So there is a fire extinguisher there. 82nd श्लोक I have chanted, I think. No? 81st? No. Let us chant 81st. Satonuvritti sarvatra vyomno neti puriritam vyomانuvrittiradhuna कथन्न व्याहतं वचः छिद्रानुवृत्तिर्नेतीति वृत्ति नहीं वृत्ति छिद्रानुवृत्तिर्नेतीति पूर्वोक्तिरधुना त्वयम् शब्दानुवृत्तिरेवोक्ता वचसो व्याहति कुतः ननु सद्वस्तु पार्थक्यात् असत्वं चेत्तदा कथम् असत्वं चेत्तदा कथम् अव्यक्त माया वैषम्यात् अमायामयतापिनो निस्तत्वरूपतैवात्र मायात्वस्य प्रयोजिका सा शक्ति कार्ययोस्तुल्या व्यक्ता व्यक्तत्वभेदिनोः. Now he is raising another objection, the opponent here. What is objection? Please see. Nanu means objection. He is putting a point. What is the point? He says that air is different from the Sat. Therefore, air is a Sat. Or saying like that? Well, yes. Sadvastu parthakyat asatvam vayu. After asatvam, you can, somewhere in bracket, you write vayu. Asatvam chet tada katham. Chet. Well, yes, I have said like that. Something is either real or unreal. So if it is not real, therefore it is unreal. You agree? Well, of course I agree. This is opponent is saying. Now I am saying this point. Avyakt maya. This maya is false. And vayu is different than maya. Therefore maya is true. Vayu is true. Didn't get my point. ध्यान दो पहले. क्या हुआ? गड़बड़ हो गया? So, पोस्ट टोस्ट में गड़बड़ जाएगा. सटल है टॉपिक. Be careful. हाँ, ध्यान देना. Different than existence is non-existence or mithya. Right? Now, the vayu is different than maya. And maya is false, therefore vayu is true. Understood? Not understood? This is the question. This is not reality. He has put a question. You said different than the Sat is a Sat. Because other than existence, maya is, the vayu is different than existence, therefore vayu will be a Sat. Now I am asking this question because vayu is different than maya. Because vayu is not maya. Because if vayu was maya, then vayu will be in the deep sleep, or vayu will be in the pralaya also. But vayu is not in the pralaya. So avyakt maya vaishamyat a Maya, and therefore Vayu is Sat. Because Maya is false. So other than Maya is Vayu, therefore Vayu is Sat. Well, अच्छा, you think a lot. Only thing you miss very important point in thinking. Well, what I missed out in this? It's simple equation I am telling. It is just like this human being is other than him. That means he is the animal. He is other than this human being. This means the animal is there. Mere pyare, when two things are vijati, then they will have opposite nature. Understand my point? Two things are vijati, totally different jati is there. And if two things are sajati, then you cannot say it is different. The Brahman and the Vayu are sajati or vijati? Vijati. Because Brahman is Sat, Vayu is Asat. They are not related to each other. Because one is Sat, other is totally Asat. Now Maya and Vayu are sajati or vijati? Sajati? Vijati? Both are unreal. But Maya is the cause. And from that cause the Vayu has come. So both are in the realm of ignorance or realm of mithyatva. Therefore both are sajati. And two things if you say A is sajati and A, B is different than A, that doesn't mean that it will have opposite nature than A. Because Maya is the cause of Vayu. Therefore, this also is mithyatva. Two things which has mithyatva will not be called because this mithya is different than that, therefore B is real. You are using a wrong argument. You are quoting sajati and concluding vijati. You are using a wrong and fallacious argument. I hope you are understanding this point. Please write the notes because it will slip otherwise. These topics it appears very easy, but once you start reading by yourself, you will feel this is French and Greek. It will appear totally different. I am telling you, you will not know also what is said, and you will struggle with the translation, you will struggle more after that. So, answer is given. Nistattva rupataya evatra mayatva prayojika. Air is unreal because mother is the Maya, child is the air. And mother of ignorance will be ignorance naturally. It will have ignorance. And you are saying because you are using the rule of vijati in sajati. Because this child is different than the mother, therefore this is not a human being. It is like that. You are using a different equation in a different area. Rule of vijati you are using in sajati. And therefore you should not say like that, because this formula that A is different than B, A is different than B, therefore A is opposite to B, this will be only applicable in the area of existence and not in existence or vijati. A is different than B doesn't mean A is opposite of B. Child is different than that doesn't mean he is opposite of human being. I hope you have understood this point. Not understood? Stanley? Clear? Not clear. Is A different than B, then does not mean B is opposite of A. Opposite of A will be there when two are different species only. But in the same species, A is different than me does not mean that A is totally opposite of B. It can have another form of me. When Mr. Ram is different than Mr. Shyam, it doesn't mean that Shyam is anti-Ram or totally other than the shape of Ram. Because both are in the same species. Okay, I understood like that. So Maya and the air both are sajati because both are unreal, because the unreality portion is in common. Definition of sajati or same species was common in all. And therefore the commonness between the air and the Maya was the mithyat portion. The imaginary portion was the common point between the two. Whereas between existence and air, there is no common point. Existence, it was superimposed on existence, and therefore I call that the air was false because of being superimposed on the existence. And therefore I concluded because existence is real, therefore air will be unreal, because other than that nothing else can exist. But as far as Maya is there, other than Maya, everything can exist because they are all children of Maya, and therefore everything is unreal. And therefore you cannot put that rule of Vijati on Sajati. That because you said other than existence, everything is non-existence, therefore other than Maya, what is there, everything is real. You cannot put that because this is in Sajati area. In the same species, you can't put the rule which you are putting in different species. Sa shaktir karyostulya vyakta vyaktattu bhedonoho. Because this is power and powerful. And then Panchadashikar says, tell me one thing. Sad asattu vivekasya prastutvatvat sachintita. Please discriminate between Sat and Asat. This was the topic going on. You are unnecessarily considering among the Asat, Sajati, where from you came in this one. Asatvantaram vedastam, let it be there. Tachintyatra kim. What we will get by contemplating that among all the Asat, this is different, this is different. That is not the topic. Topic was differentiation between Sat and Asat. You have drifted and digressed between many Asats. Asatah avantar bhed astam. Astam is let it be there. 100 bheds will be there in Asat. Tat chintya atra kim. What you will get by thinking about that 1,000 things are different than Maya, then all will be real in that from that. You are using other equation to put here that like. Different quotation, you are in what was rules there, you are putting a wrong area rule here. I hope you have understood this point. Bole, okay, sorry for disturbing. But this is how one learns to think, to contemplate, or to put the questions. More we will see tomorrow. Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namah. Harihi Om. We have 2 books.